Hey everyone, this is Tracy with Color Me This. We are on episode 329 today. One last day with the Hummingbird in Magical Worlds. I think it's going to take 2 days for me to complete it, but we're just going to see how far we can get. And if it does take 2 days, I will probably switch gears to Romantic Country tomorrow. Although I'm thinking, I could actually finish this if I went 2 days in a row. Maybe that's what I'll do. Being a rebel and all. I try to only color in the big books 2 days a week so that I can keep progress made on Small Victories. Because my goal, I would like to finish Small Victories by the end of March, which will be the 1-year anniversary of me doing the daily color. And I started the daily color on the very first inside flap of Small Victories. So a third day isn't going to hurt me. And I'm going to start with the centers of the flowers. You can see that I did all of my homework and then some. I cleaned up the blue the rest of the way. I added the leaves. These fancy leaves I made a little bit more vibrant, a little deeper, and have a different shadowing than the softer leaves on the right. And I also filled in the main flower a lot more with, I added the pops of the burgundy, the hot pink. No, what is it? It is this color. So I did the little bit of this with you, fuchsia rose, but then I went in and did more when I colored the small flowers. So let's dive in. Everything is gold brown today, so I should only be using these up to 6 colors. I'm going to grab the darker colors first. I'm going to pull this down so we can get you guys close up to what's happening. That should be good. Dark to light. I'm going to grab 5 of them. The very light one, which is number 2. I don't think I'm going to use. This is number 2. It's called Double Cream. And I think I might. I just don't think I'm going to use it today. I don't know that I'm going to leave some areas actually just white. I've been doing that on this particular project. Here's the full blend of 5 in all its glory. Snapdragon number 30. Yolk Yellow 32. Topaz 35. Caramel Cafe 74. Chocolate Fondant 99. I am going to start putting in some shading. This is a very unusual floral center, completely fantasy, of course. So I can kind of do whatever I want here. So I'm just kind of made it up. I've done a little rough draft here over on my copy paper where I do testing and pick out colors and everything. So gold is not my strong suit. The idea of the filigree being gold will be an interesting challenge. We'll just see how we can do. I have actually done it a couple of different ways on the circle. I even switched to a platinum color scheme and wanted to get all of the colors deep enough so that I could make a good choice, and I think gold is going to be better for it, so that's what we're doing. So right off the bat, you can see I'm building up some depth and shadows. I would like this to appear less flat and more circular. Not just flat circular, I mean like a ball, a sphere. is what I'm going after. I don't know if I can achieve that, but we'll see. It was down to 41 early this AM. I have such a hard time getting up to go work out when it's that cold. But I did go with my mom at 9, so she is now able to do her exercising every day. Kind of back to the routine. Her husband even came in and watched us for a few minutes. I think the instructor is the swim instructor, and I think he had entertained the notion of joining us for about a half a second. But our instructor is from Colombia. She does Zumba, so it's very, very dancey fitness that we do, and that's just not his thing. I didn't know if he was just checking up on my mom, seeing how she was doing. I told him how well she, I thought she was doing great. She put on some shoes that are not as sticky. The moves are so complicated, and the stepping is so fast that you really need a shoe that you are comfortable with. I prefer one that does stick. I do not want any slipping, but you have to know that that's what you want. I saw another lady right in front of me. About halfway through, she put on these little socklet sliding things, and she decided she wanted to be up front on the dance floor, which is wood. I'm on carpet, and I do not want to be on wood. I've watched people fall on that wood. All right, so starting to get some shape going. That was the second darkest. Now I'm moving on to the middle color, which is sort of an orangey tone. I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving week and everything is settled back down to whatever your normal routine is. And if you were after all of the deals, that you found the deals you wanted, I actually had, I think I got everything except one thing that I wanted. We have lived in our house for a little over 2 years, and when we first moved here, we bought very inexpensive, pieced together furniture, and Hub says the other day, it looks like we live in a dorm. It's dorm furniture. But that's because we had no furniture and we just wanted something. And I didn't want to commit a lot. Oh, and I also wanted because we wanted to get a Murphy bed, which we did eventually get. That was a wonderful project. I love putting furniture together. That's like my masterpiece. And so we did buy a very simple the back flips down into a bed. And it's very short. And I am ready to commit to a more comfortable theater seat type couch. My mom bought the one that was in the house that they bought, and I like the idea of it, and I've sat in it a few times, and I'm like, I should. So, but my husband and I are short, and so we want to get something that fits our stature, which means we're going to have to go to furniture stores and at least try out furniture and figure out the dimensions that fit us. And then we'll have to go from there. I'm moving, so that was the third darkest. I want to go back one darker to work more on this middle area. And get some shading. Oh, I might have to go darker. Look at that. I'm going to go the darkest color. It's all an illusion. There, so I hope you're seeing a buildup of fluffy depth. That's what I'm going after. And then I have no idea what I'm going to do with these weird seed things that look like tonsils. Or it's not even the tonsil. It's the thing that goes down in the middle of your back of your throat. That's what that reminds me of. All right, I'm going to start that. I do see a couple of overlapping purple lines on this side. So, clean off my eraser. Let's see if I can zip those lines away. I already cleaned up a lot of the blue that was overlapping it from the sky. All right, well, let's see what we can do here. I am going to be kind of a coward and start with this middle color. These behind ones will have darker. So I'm going to have to go through and do the overlay on every single one. And these are all odd sizes, and like they get really busy right here on this side, but that makes it look more natural. So here I go. Here's the darkest. I might even need to put my glasses on for this. Nope, I am too far away. So we're going for distance and one element overlapping the others. And that's what this really dark color helps us to achieve. Now we're getting some depth. So every place where one of these little petals, mini petals we'll call them, overlaps the other, that under layer is getting a bit of this dark brown. And if both sides are covered, I am coloring the whole thing dark. All right, and Hub, I hear him stirring. It is early in the morning today. I guess it's not totally early because I've already exercised. Now I'm moving to the middle brown, skipping the second darkest, and I'm going to pause and close the door. All right, well, he is not coming out yet. So I noticed I was a little out of focus. I hope it wasn't too bad. I'm trying to make these look bulbous and round, giving them a 3D look as much as I can, because they are very small. I see when I missed the dark shadow on. Back to that middle brown. My pressure, if you're curious, is not light. I am going pretty medium to heavy on this. I want to put in a little depth right here around whatever this disc shape is. And then I might be done with this for the moment. We'll see if I want to come back in and darken anything up. Depending on how things shape up with the gold filigree. All right, I think that looks good. It's always strange doing something that is not real. It's freeing, but it's also a little on the stressful side because you have to kind of make it up as you go. So I hope I did it justice. Moving on to a more realistic, I'm going to actually rotate this. That's the safest way to hit that other flower. This will be more normal. Still want to give it that 3D look. That was the second to darkest, and now I'm grabbing the darkest color. I actually might have a little purple line in there. Oh,
Why is the water running?
So it finally happened. After a couple hundred videos, I finally managed to get so discombobulated that I thought I was filming when I wasn't filming. So I went over to copy the files off the phone, and the second file was not there. So guess what I colored? The part that made me the most nervous, I have colored, and it was not filmed. So let's review what I did, and I apologize profusely. I cannot believe that this happened, and I will have to be ever more vigilant to make sure it does not happen again. This is what I ended up doing. I'm going to go ahead and move up a little bit. And let's talk about what I did since I did it while not filming. I finished filming the flowers. This little flower over here, you'll see I used the exact same colors. And the main point of interest is I did make sure that the flowers, little area here right under the leaf, is in shadow. I used the darkest brown to create the shadow. I think it could have been, I think the brown is most appropriate, but it could have been either the dark purple, the brown, or the blue. But I think the brown works nicely. I did finish the 3D effect of these little seeds and added some of the dark brown to have them coming out and up. So the little stems of the petals, if that's what we're calling them, as mini petals, the stems are kind of in shadow and they're kind of coming up. I want them to be rounded looking, so hopefully you can see them looking rounded. I might brighten this up some. There we go. I then switched to the filigree, which is, again, the most far removed from what I normally do in color. I've only done a couple of different filigree elements. I think I've done one on a Christmas page. It's an R.J. Hampson page. I think I used Prismacolor for that. Santa and his sleigh delivering packages. And then I did another filigree. It's actually in Small Victories. So I've only done two that come to mind. Now that I'm revisiting what I've done, I can see a little bit of, I went over the edges on the circle into the brown a tiny bit. I'm okay with that. What I don't like the most is I haven't really got an outer edge. I was explaining that I really wanted to keep some white. So I think since I had to open the book up and now I'm staring at it with you, I'm going to get a little closer so we can analyze. I think what I need to do is commit to this weird scalloping. And I'm just going to go for it. Since I already messed up, I need to show you guys something in the remaining time, because my first chunk of time was only 20 minutes. And I think I colored a little, maybe almost an hour. And the second 30 or so minutes didn't get filmed. So I'm just going to make some of this up as I go. I'm not really sure what the little scallopy bit is. I'm going to just grab like a medium. This is the middle tone. I want it to, again, appear rounded and bulbous sort of shaped, like a 3D shape. So that's what this little line here is supposed to help convey. I'm going to grab that was the third darkest. This is the second darkest. It is called Caramel Cafe. I still can't believe I did not film all of this work. So silly. There's always got to be something. All right, so that little bit is done. It was actually very fast. I did not think I was going to get the gold edging done in one sitting, and I did. So I'm using the second darkest brown, and I'm just kind of going through, adding a little more. Color and detail. All right, the beak. Let's see if I can move the camera a bit so that we can see our beak. The beak is going to be dark along the bottom. Now, I don't like this angle. See how I'm drawing across? For my arm and being left-handed, drawing across like this isn't my strong direction. I would much rather be going vertical. So pay attention to your particular directional coloring likes and dislikes. And I'm suffering through because I feel bad that I messed up. I even added the little twinkles in the stars. I talked about the fact that I was going to go ahead and do some white to the stars. So that is the bottom of the beak. Using the yellow ochre color. Second to lightest, yolk yellow, 32. So nothing fancy, just straightforward. I don't want it to have any of the browns or the rusts. I just want it to be a nondescript tan color. So I think I'm going to leave it at that. I do want to come back to, pardon me, the outer part of the ring. And I feel, looking at it now after having put it away, thinking I was done and I'm not, I think this one part I started to add a little bit of an outer edge, a very thin one in brown. And I think that is what I want to do to finish off the gold. This side is a much fatter circle and it has all those swirls. The other side of the circle has no swirls. So it's like a completely different part, and it's also much narrower. My goal, if I would have filmed it so you could hear it, I had said that I wanted to leave some white glinting as much as possible along the circle. So here's a little glint of lighting, And then here's a little more. So my goal, as I share with you me adding the outside line, is to not have it be too fat. It is very sharp. I sharpened it already. So this right here has some modeling browns in it, where up here it has some tans, and I do want it to look irregular and varying so that it gives it a more realistic look. And again, doing these three, I think I used 3 tones the most. No, maybe the 4. I just never used the lightest one. It's in my hand. The lightest color, which isn't the creamy color, this has some color to it, is Snapdragon 30. I don't think I used it because this is such a narrow space. Now we're hitting the part of the circle that is very narrow. And now, and there's not any white showing. And I'm going to flip it all the way around to make it comfortable. I'm going to come back down here and again start my line. Cannot believe I did not film properly. Dealing with the spine over here is kind of awkward. All right, I have officially, oh no, I think up top here, I have to rotate again for you. I think up here, this is where I started. So at least you're seeing some of it. You're getting to see it up close. I tried to leave little white glints along the filigree, and my shadowing is mostly along the bottom because we're kind of looking at it sideways. Same with this circle itself. I tried to make the bottom of the circle is the darker. Some of the tendrils of the filigree go behind the circle exterior line. Others go over the top. And I try to appropriately shade depending on whether I feel it's in front of, on top of, or behind. I tried to minimize the orangey tone, not wanting to go all out brass. Trying to keep it a little bit on the softer side. Don't know if I achieved that. It still looks pretty bright overall to me. This is my last little tiny bit of the circle. I do have, there was a little something here that I need to try to remove. I think it's a chunk of blue. So now we have the completed beak, the little weird filigree down here, the bird is all done. The stars, the thing I could do with the stars. So I have a brand new pencil here. I don't know if I want to use it though, because I don't even know how wide the tip is. It's a Molotow. Let's see, what does it say that it is? It's... Wow, you can actually refill this. Look at that. Refill, exchange, mix. Refilling with refill. Activate by pumping. It is white. And it does not... Oh, 1 millimeter. Is it a shaker? Sorry, I'm shaking you guys. It says shake well. I hear it shaking. Oh, there we go. We're going to be super brave here. This is my punishment for messing up. I will never mess up again now. Being forced. Oh, and there's a little bit. So here's what I'm thinking. Because of my shadows being underneath, oh, that's kind of a lot, huh? I do like that I can do that to it. One millimeter is pretty fat. I don't even know if this is acrylic. Looks like acrylic. So those are the three. And I'll probably come back in with some yellow. I have a black one down here. Two more. There's one up at the top by the wing. Right there. And then there's this one right over here. I don't know why the lines look really dark to me on these stars, but they do. And I like the softening way better. Okay, I have this yellow. Whoops, sorry everyone. There's just a little extra zip. All right. So the next time you will see this will be at the weekly review, and it will be pretty much like it is. I might add a little bit of bells and whistles. I might clean up a little bit here and there, but overall it's done. I still don't know about this weird shape here on the wing that I don't really want to mess it up, so I'm probably going to leave it, but we will see. So thank you so much for joining me today. I am so sorry that I did not get the filming of all of this filigree that I did, which is only my third time doing filigree. Do all the YouTube things, like, share, comment, and consider subscribing. Tomorrow we will be moving on to Romantic Country, the camping page, and we'll try to get that close to finished. I think that should be able to be finished up this week as well. I will see you there.